Good morning, my friends. Welcome to a new week. It's Belinda here, and this is the Deal It Up Challenge Day. If you're new here, welcome. Good to have you along. And a special hi to all my regulars or people who've joined me recently. It's just amazing to have you here as well. I am grateful for you all. Now let's get into this challenge. I'm going to pull some prompts and then make something. So our first prompt is what? Dum, 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 dum. Drum roll. That was really pathetic drum roll, wasn't it? But never mind. So our first prompt is belly band. Okay. I mixed up the order of my cards. So this is the alternate to make if you don't want to make a faux playing card. So I'm going to scoot down to the other end and see what faux playing card we're going to be making. So I'm just going to scoot these ones along. For some reason I just had in my head that different stacks were different things than what they were. That's okay. That's why you might have noticed a little hint of confusion when I pulled it. I was like, huh? Oh my gosh, we're off to a great start. I am recording on Sunday as per normal for this video, and I've been a bit off today, but very bad headache this morning, so I didn't go to church, and I'm a bit tired, just a bit, I don't know, out of sorts, I guess. And I think it's already showing because I was just like, yeah. So please forgive any lapses of coherency in this video. Right, so our faux playing card is a king of spades. So you can make a faux playing card as the king of spades or a belly band, or you may do both projects, just depending how you feel inspired. So now we're going to get into the creative prompts that go with these that you will use on either or both of these projects. So let's see what the first one's going to be. I'm just going to take the top card, numbers. We had that one recently, but I'm not mad about that. I do love including numbers in ephemera that I make. So that's quite a goodie for me. In fact, I know why it feels familiar, because it was in the virtual tag swap. That was one of the universal prompt for June. That's why it feels so familiar, because I literally only did my tags last week, so very fresh in my mind. Might have been a while since we did it in this particular challenge. Right, so our next prompt is going to be boho. Okay, not too long since we had that one, I don't think. Always challenging. I know a lot of us, including myself, find that a challenge. But that's okay. That's why it's called a challenge. If it was something that you did all the time and never stretched you outside your comfort zone, then it wouldn't actually be a challenge, would it? Sometimes it's good just to have that little push to give something a go. Even if you still don't like it, you know, at least it just kind of stretches your wings and gives you permission to play with something a little bit different without taking it too seriously. Okay, our final creative prompt for this week is window or door. Okay, so I'm going to have to do some magazine hunting or something along those lines. So let's start with the card back. Grab my bits and pieces. So I've chosen out this kind of brick wall type stencil for today. Colours. What colours do I want to go? I'm thinking pink. If I can find my pink. Yep, here's the pink. And this sponge here will do fine. It's got a pinky colour on it, so we'll run with that one. And just going to do, I'm not going to stencil the whole thing, I don't think. Oh, we're getting some colour from the side. That's fine. I don't mind it being a bit mixed. Just adds to the funness of it, I guess. Right, move my stencil down, try and match it up a little bit ish. Do a little bit more down the back, down the bottom where the stencil didn't reach. Maybe a little bit up here. Yeah, cool. That's perfect. Perfectly imperfect. I really like that saying, perfectly imperfect. Just recognises that it's okay for things, you know, to be imperfect, because that is perfect. It looks beautiful, it looks interesting. Sometimes perfect can not be as interesting as imperfect, I think. I just have a wee sip of my tea. Right, now our king, we need our K for our king. And we're working with a black suit, so black ink pad for this. Oh, that was loud, wasn't it? Stamp our K up there. And for anyone new, my bases are all cat food boxes typically, because we go through a lot of cat food with 3 cats. And the size of your card, if you want to play along, is up to you. So I do a larger version of a card. You can do a regular size if you like, you know, a normal playing card size, or you could do a mini, or you could do like even bigger than this. Entirely your choice. I haven't told you the measurements of what I use for a while, so maybe I'll do that just to catch up any newbies who might be curious. I'll do that now before I forget. So my cards are roughly 5.5 inches by just slightly under 4.5 inches. So that's what I'm working with. Right, I need my spade stamp. I'm very blessed to have this set of the little, oops, the heart's trying to run away. Maybe it's got a hot date somewhere. It's trying to, like, yep, no, I'm off now. I've got a hot date. But no, I just foiled it. It's back in the package. If I'm just crazy. If you don't have these stamps, which I'm guessing most people don't, then you can certainly do other ways of doing your suits, whether you print them off, whether you draw them in, or find pictures of them, or cut them off of an actual card. My K's weren't straight, but never mind. Let's just embrace that perfectly imperfect stance and go, you know, not being straight is actually absolutely fine. Right, put the lid on my ink pad, and I think we're done with that for now. So I've already pre-inked, distressed the outside of my card. It's a little bit bendy, so I'm just straightening out a bit. Okay, so onto this side, I'm just going to put our King of Spades up and our belly band prompt and just focus on these 3 for now. So numbers, boho, window or door. I'm thinking of going with a real neutral background. Part of boho is neutrals, natural materials, browns, creams, that sort of thing. That's an often underrated part of what boho actually is. So I'm thinking I might go with that. And I've been playing recently with just experimenting with dyeing paper and getting different effects. And this is one of my recent experiments. Was actually quite by accident, and I've been really playing with it since it happened by accident, and I love the effect of it. If I turn it sideways you might see it better. So it's coffee dyed and it's all stenciled, but we have these circles of darker areas that have come through. I just think it's so fun, and then on the back you get more of the circle and less of the stencil design, although it's still subtle, but it's there. You can still see subtle parts of the stencil design, but I just think that is super fun. So I'm going to use this and just, it's very crinkly. This is one that I've just done today and I haven't flattened it, so that's going to be a challenge. But you know, texture's texture, that's fine. We can live with a bit of texture if we can't get it flat with glue. So I am going to just smoosh around my glue stick. I'm not going to collage up with different bits of paper today because I want to try and celebrate this pattern that's on the coffee dyed paper, because I think it's just really fun, and because of the stenciling, the bits of flowers and foliage and stuff that have come through, I think it actually fits boho, which was totally unplanned. Let me just assure you, this was not planned. I just grabbed a bit of the paper to do this challenge thinking it might come in handy, and you know what, it did. So it is wrinkly, because normally I weight it under some heavy books for at least several days and it flattens out beautifully. Not completely, not like it's been ironed, but I prefer a bit of texture. But this one is just off the fire, has not been weighted at all. So going to need a bit of encouragement just to stick down. I think we might have a few wrinkles, and that's all good. And if it comes loose or pops up anywhere, I'll just go back in later with some more glue, or as I see that it's needed as we make it. Gosh, I'm feeling warm. Must be in the throes of working on something. So I've been over on the couch most of the day where it's warmer than where I am sitting right now. And all of a sudden I'm like, gee, I feel quite warm. Maybe it's the lights of recording that I've got on, just like being under a sun lamp. Helping to warm me up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's the cup of tea. Or maybe it's all of those things. Right, so let's just cut around this. Yeah, my head's not too bad at the moment. You know, painkillers are helping with that. But yeah, I've been working with a headache for at least a couple of weeks, and this morning it was just like, nah, I just can't people today. I just can't go out to church and sit there, and I find the lights quite hard at church. They tend, because where I sit, I'm looking up towards the screen, and the lights kind of hit my eyes in a weird way. And I thought, no, I just can't do that today. So I thought I'm just gonna take it easy and stay home and rest and relax. And I did nothing except cuddle my cat and watch a YouTube video, which was really lovely. I stayed off any digital devices. I had the volume quite low on the TV, so because I watch YouTube through the TV, just so it wasn't too loud, and just cradled my cat and had cuddles, and that was just lovely by the fire while hubby went out to church. And just got a little bit there I didn't get. Okay, I'm loving that. I think that's really super cool, and it has got some wrinkles. That's all good. Okay, so we need numbers. We need a window or door. Thinking I might probably find something in a magazine like this. Might be able to find a door to a washing machine. Don't think that's quite where I want to go with that prompt, although you could if you wanted. There's windows. I want something that I like the look of and kind of fits, or not kind of, but does actually fit on my card. So maybe we'll grab it out so we can kind of just test the sizing. I'm sure there will be something in here. I'm hoping. Windows. Although I don't want this man here. Nothing against you, Mr. whatever your name is, but I just don't want you on my faux playing card. Lots of windows and doors, but I just want the right window and door. And maybe something that leans towards the boho. Not sure if we'll get that, but So I'm being picky. The door, open door, but it's way too tall, and I think cutting it down, yeah, would look silly because the door handle would be like right at the floor. So nope on that one. Lots of windows there. I don't know if you can see it all on frame. Just pull it over a little bit. That's kind of very, it's Wizard of Oz and a theatre set, but it kind of feels a bit boho to me. But I mean, it's guess the arches are like doorways, but not quite. And it's a bit small, I think. Oh, on we go, looking for the perfect image. Does it exist? And does it exist in this particular magazine? I feel like I'm going really slowly, so bear with me. We will get there. We'll find something, even if we have to go. There's a cool door there, but it's behind a table. Has got very, doesn't say boho to me. It says more country or rustic, but those neutral colours kind of lean towards the boho. Dog trails. There's a door. It's very grey though. Not sure that grey's the right colourway. Ooh. What about this over here? This window. I think I might be able to do something with this. It looks a little boring as it is at the moment, but I've got an idea. So it's on a bit of an angle, but I think we can work with it. Going to trim it down. There's actually another set of windows the other side, but I'm just going to trim it down where the window frame is between the two windows. And I'll do it straight, I think, and then decide, because the window frame goes this way. Do I want to leave it straight? I think there's a bit much of the window frame here, so I'm going to trim that down. Okay, let's cut the white off. I'm just taking it step by step so I don't go too far and then wished I'd left a bit on here or something, because you can't, it's harder to put it back once you've taken it off. So just sizing it up on where I want to go. Now, do I want to, what's it going to look like if I cut it across there? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to be tricky now. Oh, do I want scissors or my knife? Maybe I'll start with the knife. And I'm going to cut out the window panes. So definitely getting a bit tricky. So I don't think I will end up with time to do the belly band, because I'm getting a bit more creative, I guess, with this one. So, but you know, for those of you who aren't restricted by time on a video, and you feel like doing the belly band and the faux card, then please go for it. And if you'd like to share what you've made, I would love to see. You can use, whoops, I just cut a bit far. That's all right. We'll be able to sort that. You can use the hashtag DealItUpChallenge on Instagram, or you could tag me, VisualizedNZ, in your post, or you could post it in our Facebook group, Visual Vibes. Or if all else fails, if you're not on those other social media platforms, then you're absolutely welcome to email it to me and show it to me that way. So always multiple ways you can, you know, share what you've made if you'd like to. I've got a bunch of lovely ladies who already share what they make, and I just love seeing people's interpretations of the prompts and and how they're getting on with it. It's just so much fun. Right, so I've just made an X in the middle of each just so I can get my scissors in, because they're nice big spaces. Sometimes I'll use my knife and cut around the edges, but I thought these would be quite easy to cut with scissors. Not complex shapes, just nice rectangles essentially. Slightly skew with rectangles, but just having trouble getting my scissor in the corner there. Now my mind is going towards the boho. What am I going to do for the boho aspect? Not quite sure at the moment. But definitely the cutting gives me a little bit of thinking time while I'm talking to you. Trying to think and talk at the same time doesn't always work. Do you ever have that problem? It's like you're trying to think, but your tongue keeps wagging. And you know, when you're talking, you tend to think about what you're saying. So then you realize you're supposed to be thinking about something else, and it's just not happening because you're too busy thinking about what you're saying. Happens to me all the time, particularly on videos. But then I feel weird if I go quiet for too long, because it's like, hello, anyone home? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be talking to you all. Right. 3 down, 3 to go. I'm not sure about top yet, about these little segments up the top. So like I said, we'll take a bit at a time. Depends what I fill the space with, I guess. Some of those crosses I cut with the knife haven't gone all the way through, which is interesting. I must need to change the blade. I asked hubby to do it because, you know, he does it at work all the time with their work knives. And he didn't want to. And he says, no. So he just took out one of the fresh blades and put it in for me, which I could have done, you know. And so now I've got 2 blades that need the ends snapped off so I can use the rest of the blade nice and sharp. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and see to it myself, but I'll use a tool like a pair of pliers or something to help me, so less risk of it flicking up and hitting me in the face or cutting a finger or something, because, you know, it's hard to craft if you cut a finger or if you lose an eye. Just, you know, it makes life a bit more difficult, not to mention a bit more painful. So yeah, it scares me. That's why I asked him to do it, but he's like, no. I was like, but you do it all the time at work. And he says, yeah, I hate doing it at work too, but you know, you have to. So anyway, one day I will get to chain or snap the blade myself. It's just my fingers are a lot weaker now with the arthritis, and I used to be able to do it without too much issue, but now I just find it's harder to do. So maybe a couple of pairs of pliers might help also. No, can't use 2. That doesn't make sense. It would have to be 1. Anyway, I'm just drivelling on about all this stuff, and you're probably not the least bit interested. Waffling, that's what I'm doing. I'm waffling while I'm cutting. Is it working to distract you though from the cutting? So we have some changes coming up in our life very soon. So I was supposed to have, well, we were supposed to have a meeting with a lady last weekend that you might remember me talking about, and we had to cancel it because hubby wasn't well, and we had to cancel our dinner plans as well for the same reason. Well, we had that meeting yesterday with the lady who's a friend. And it took about 2.5 hours, so I'm glad we didn't try and do it before our dinner plans if, you know, if we had been well, because we wouldn't have got through everything. 2.5 hours, and it's about the local food bank which we support financially, but the lady's husband passed away earlier this year, and she's finding it a bit much. Like, there's a lot of people that help, but she's wanting someone to come alongside her and help her run her part of it, and she's the overseer of the whole thing. And she asked my husband and I if we would, and so we went and discussed things, and initially I thought it wasn't going to work, but we've decided it will work. And so I'm going to have an extra commitment probably twice a week moving forward. So yeah, that's going to put a different spin on things, a little bit more pressure on getting my schedule kind of organized, but I'm also looking forward to it. Lots of details to work out, and I'm not sure exactly when that's going to start with helping, because yeah, she's got to get a few things sorted in her own mind and things, but yeah, that's kind of where we're heading. So very cool to be involved in that and to help. Right, so we've cut out our windows. I guess it looks a bit weird, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this bit here along, oops, just trying to get the edge of the timber and not just the shadow. I don't want the shadow, so I'm cutting the shadow off as well. I'm going to cut there, and I'm going to cut along the top here. And I feel that makes it all look or make sense now, because we're looking in and the whole thing is receding. Do we want to put it over that side? No, we don't. That looks weirder. So kind of over here. So we're looking through the window. Now I need something to go behind it. I have an idea. Oops. My idea was not to drop everything on the floor, which I just did. I've got these wonderful butterflies from February and June's Patreon. And I wonder if we just put like a giant big butterfly in behind there. Just, you know, for fun. We could even like have it popping through the window. Like, do we want a wing popping out over the window, or do we want it? I actually like it through the window, I think. Don't know why. You know, does it make sense? Don't know. Do we want the antennae popping out there as well? Oh, I like that. And I feel like the boho could lean towards, the butterfly could lean towards the boho. So I'm going to come in here and glue the frame, or the window, yeah, the window frame to the butterfly, so it's in the right place. So it's very delicate, the window frame, with all those thin bits, so I thought this is the easiest way to get things where I want them and to protect the integrity of the frame from getting distorted or bent or what have you. Right, I think I'll just ink those antennae as well, just with whatever residual vintage photo I have on my brush there. Yep, perfectly adequate amount for that. I didn't even audition butterflies, I just went with this one. And then we still get all that beautiful background there. I think that's fun. Okay, so definitely tacky glue for this. I am not going to risk glue stick, because that would be a nightmare in my language. That would be just recipe for disaster. So just take a bit of time to get all the bits. covered in glue. All the edges. Concentrating, can you tell? Right, I think we've got pretty good coverage there. Right, start at one side and smooth out so it hopefully all lies flat and without distortion. That went pretty well, I think. Oh, I love that. I really, really love this. This might be one of my favourite ones that I've done so far. And I haven't even finished it. Let's trim off the overhang. Right, I want to ink around the edge before I go any further. Put our scissors away for now. Just give it another frame out around the edge with the ink. Right, so would there be something else boho-y that I would like to include? I'm kind of tending towards the natural vibes a little bit more, I think. Of course, with the background, that's probably what's driving it a little bit more. Although I am thinking, do we want like a strip of something? Would it look silly? I don't know. Could go colourful floral. Do we want to do right across? Oops. I'm not sure, so I'm going to do it right across and then I can tear it off if I decide I don't want it. Do I want it right across? I think it helps extend that visual line of the window, so I'll put one at the top as well. So yeah, I think I want it right across. But I think trimming it is necessary to kind of get a better visual on it. And that's another nod towards boho, that sort of pink florally. So I'm kind of going away from the neutrals, aren't I? But that's okay. And then same up here. Like so. Is anybody else watching House of Dragon on, well, we watch it on Neon. I don't know if that's how everybody watches House of Dragon. The second season's out, so we haven't started it yet. We decided we'd rewatch season 1, and we just finished that this afternoon. Finished watching season 1, so now we're all ready to watch season 2. So really glad we rewatched it actually, because there's a lot I'd forgotten. And I'm looking forward to what happens in season 2, because it was left on, you know, quite a note at the end of season 1. I won't say too much in case you haven't watched it and would like to. Okay, how are we looking? We still need numbers. Numbers. So I can either use like preordained, so to speak, numbers, or individual numbers and then just kind of put what we like. Or let's just look at several options Or I can use my number labels, like, you know, just something like that. Not that colour though. There's a purple. 60. You could choose whether it's a 60 or a 09. I actually don't mind that. Or here's another purple one with a black frame. Might be too long though, that sort of style. Yeah, it's too long, I think. This one's so far is the one that's speaking to me, but oh, here's a pink one. Can we grab? Whoops, flicking them everywhere. Pink one. Oh, I quite like that too. Maybe there's a little one down here. Would, oh, look, little sign one. Actually, I think that's cute. The little sign one. It's like the window's looking that way and the sign's pointing that way. That one really appeals. But then I still think I need something up here. So I'm going to go with this one. So we'll pop that on. Just grab my glue stick wherever it's gone. Pop that down there. I just like the play of the elements on that. And it's like the direction for the butterflies. Fly that way. That's your exit. That way. That away, butterfly. Fly free. It's trying to escape out the window. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Now we need something up here, and I'm thinking word. I don't know if I've got a word. I'm thinking something like freedom would be cool, or escape. I do know I do have an escape stamp. It's not very big though. Let's see what else I've got. Believe the orange though. What about this? Discover. Yep, that's it. That's it. Right, I think I might give it a little vintage photo treatment around the edges though. Actually, I might give that a little kind of light dirty up as well. I just want to give this an edge. Yes, it's got a border on it, but I want it to have that aged border edge on it. This is a blend of colour and neutrals for my nod towards the boho. I think it needs to go over slightly so it's not like directly above. It needs to go over here. Yep, awesome. And then I think we are done, which is quite exciting. And I really love this card. I think it is pretty. And quite honestly, I think the best one I've done in this whole series. I just think it's really cool. Okay, yeah, I am done. Okay, so looking at the prompts, done the King of Spades. I have not done the belly band. I'm not going to do that today, but you are free to do that or do both if you prefer. So essentially these faux cards are journal cards, so you'd use them in your journal like you would any other journal card, or you can save them up until you've done the whole series like a number of us are doing. But you don't have to do the whole series. You can do in and out as you prefer. Okay, so then we have numbers. We have boho, not really hugely boho, not heavily boho, but considering boho in my making of it. So, you know, go as hard out or as subtle as you like. And then window or door. So I've gone with this window frame, with which our butterfly is trying to escape from. I think that turned out really well. What do you think, guys? let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're participating along. How many you've done. Have you done one here or there, or you've done lots of them? I wouldn't be interested to know, particularly for those that have never shared, if they've made one. Like, have you made one but not shared it anywhere? Just so I know that there's people out there playing along, because that really makes my heart feel good. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great day. I'll be back again tomorrow with Trash Craft Tuesday. I hope you've got a moment to spend with me then. Okay, guys, I'll see you then. Bye.